Holy mother of clutter. Don't worry, I'll clean this up. This is going to be a bit of an experiment. A different kind of video from what I normally do. This assortment of odds and ends that I haven't gotten around to making a video about, be it review or otherwise, even though it's been on my to-do list for quite a while. And for various reasons. In some cases, it's because I felt I didn't have enough to talk about really to justify a video about just that one thing. And in some cases, it's because I haven't come up with a way to test or demonstrate it that I'm really satisfied with. And in a few cases, it's because I simply forgot about it. Like some of the things ended up in a random box after the move, and I only recently rediscovered it and suddenly went, oh, this is a thing that exists. And so that's how that goes sometimes. And since I noticed that it has been quite a while, and I just didn't get around to it because I prioritized other things and, because of the aforementioned reasons, I figured better than not doing it at all, I could do this kind of informal talk. So I don't know if any of you will, well, some of you will, but how many of you will enjoy this, because it's going to be very rambly and not particularly professional by any means. But if you like it, let me know. Let's get to it. This is a spear point by BKS, that's Baltimore Knife and Sword. I guess you could say it's BKSS, Baltimore Knife, Sword, and Spear in this case. But that's just me being a smartass. Anyway, so it's a Celtic spear point, if I remember correctly. At least looks like it, with that leaf shape. I don't remember really much about it. I think somebody sent it to me at some point. If you are that person and I don't remember who you are, I apologize. As I said, my memory. And I just get too many messages. I have various stuff lying around and I just can't remember. I'm sorry. Anyway, so in this case, for one, I didn't have terribly much to say, but also I didn't come up with any really good ways of testing it. What I did on one occasion was I picked up a stick that was long and straight enough in the woods, and I just did some throwing with it into a tree stump, which worked fine. I mean, it's a spear. It's really hard to mess this up. I mean, the spear is one of the oldest weapons, and it's one of the simplest, but still very effective. And there aren't many ways in which you can mess it up. I mean, unless you make the material way too brittle or way too soft, it's going to work. And this one is nicely shaped. So yeah, aside from those throwing tests, I haven't really come up with anything I like. One of the particular issues is also, since we moved in this area, I have a hard time finding suitable spots for doing tests. It's mostly parks, which is, public areas, of course, I don't want to go to for swinging weapons around, for obvious reasons. It might freak people out, and it's just not the greatest idea. And otherwise, there are a lot of the areas here are private property, so without permission from the owner, of course, I can't do anything there. And I live in an apartment, so yeah, I've been looking for a rental house for months, but the local market is insane. And you know what? Let's just leave it at that. This is getting too rambly even for this type of video. So there is some damage. Where was it? Here. You can hopefully see. I think it hit a rock or something. But that's to be expected when you're throwing it into random debris and whatnot in the woods. But overall, this is a well-made spear point. So definitely not bad. I'll post the links if I find them, if I remember what it is and what it's called and where it's from and all of that. This case shouldn't be too difficult. Then let's see, let's move on to this. This is something that also a viewer sent me. It's a knife from Crete. It's a little dirty because it has become one of my everyday use knives. So I cut open boxes with it for the most part. So that's just some of the glue. And I do not know who made this or what it's called or anything. I really know nothing about it other than that it's from the island of Crete, at least as far as I remember. And I really like it. It's quite nice. The overall handle shape is really comfortable. And this, I think, is horn. Could be wrong. And it just feels good in the hand. It's one of those knives that I just tend to reach for when I want to cut something open. It looks really good, feels nice. I've put a pretty nice sharp edge on it, and yeah. So it's really not much to be said about it. It comes with this little sheath here, which it fits nicely. So that's pretty much it. It's a nice looking knife, it works, I like it, done. So that's why I haven't made a separate video about it, especially since I don't know where you can get it. Then this is a really cheap slingshot from Deal Extreme. I got that as a Halloween gift for Kara. And it isn't very good, I have to say. I mean, it looks cool and all. It's got a compass and there it's got a light here. Let's see, how did that work again? Oh yeah, right. There we go. I don't think, oh yeah, it actually still has some charge. So, pretty simple thing. But what I do not like about it is the way it's shaped. When you pull back, the skulls just kind of dig into the hand. It's not very pleasant. So it's not the greatest thing to use, actually. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Neither of us have really used it. It's yeah, let's leave it at that. You see, that's exactly the problem with some of these things. It's like, here is the thing, this is what it looks like, and either it works or it doesn't, and there we go. This is an Opinel knife. It's another one of those things that a viewer sent me. And simple little knife. In fact, it's so simple that, once again, I don't really know what to say about it. These are very popular. A lot of people like these because they are very cheap, but still good quality. So you get a lot of value for the money, and you know, it's a really, really thin blade. It comes very sharp, so even I can complain for once about the sharpness. And yeah, they're really decent. They're overall just fantastically light. One of the lightest knives I've ever picked up, because it's just this, you know, the wooden handle here doesn't have any metal in there. It's got the thin bolster there and thin blade. Everything is extremely lightweight. Of course, this is not a heavy-duty knife whatsoever. I mean, this is really just for the lightest everyday tasks. You know, opening letters and cutting open plastic packaging. Soft plastic. I think if you try to open a blister pack with this, I don't know. This would probably not be a good experience. But then again, blister packs are never a good experience. They need to be exterminated, and they need to just be catapulted into the nearest asteroid belt. It's anyway. Yeah. Again, not too much to be said about it as far as I'm concerned. I'm personally not the biggest fan of this type of knife here. Yeah, they work, and it's good materials and all that. It's very, very stiff. I mean, you can't really expect much more, but I'm not a fan of the nail nick, any kind of blade like that, and it's not something that I find myself using a lot. So yeah, if you're the person who sent this to me, don't get me wrong, I still appreciate that you did, and I found it interesting to take a look at because a lot of people talk about these. It's just not particularly my cup of tea, but I hope you don't take it the wrong way. Anyway, let's move on. Uh-oh. You remember this thing? Yeah. I made a video about knives that I would never buy. I reacted to this Catfish of DOOM because it looks so evil. The facial expression is just pure malice. It's just this, I will devour your soul and I will burn your firstborn and I will take your world apart. Blah. And I will install Vista on your computer. Yeah, that kind of thing. So what happened was someone at HR Knives saw that, found it really amusing, and sent me this. Yeah. So I got trolled. That's really it. And this has been quite a while ago, actually. Oh, actually, I should open this too, so you see the knife. It's a really, really cheap little thing. You know, the cheapest stainless steel, and it's weird, and it wants to murder you, and yeah, let's never talk about this again, shall we? And they also sent me another thing that I talked about, namely the I call this the Brokeback Mountain knife. I mean, it's a pink cowboy hat. That's really that's really all I can say. It's a pink cowboy hat. Come on. Where does it even? How does it even work? I thought there was a nail nick somewhere. Let me take a look here. What? Oh yeah, there. So it's a little difficult to open, as you can see. If you don't have long fingernails, it's kind of a pain in the ass. It's got this ultra tiny, pathetic little blade thingy that looks like it's not even good enough to clean your nails with. Who designs this? What is this? It's dumb. It's ridiculous. But I got trolled. Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. Then I've got this thing here, which I also found at HR Knives. I actually bought this for the Weirdest Knives series because it seemed kind of strange. But then again, it didn't really seem worth it to actually make a full video about because it's just this really ultra cheap little thing. I think it was $1 or so. And in some places, apparently, they can be found in just jars in stores in large quantities. And this is one of the crappiest blades you can possibly get. It's very similar to the previous two. It's just horrible quality, cheapest possible steel. I could probably break this off with just 2 fingers. And yeah, it's really the only interesting thing about it is the mechanism here. So if I can get this open, that is. So sometimes it doesn't wanna do the thing. There we go. So you open this up and it slides and you close it up. So yeah, it's certainly weird, but it's not spectacular by any means. So it seemed kind of pointless to even make a video about. Yeah. Then there are a few more knives here. So this is the typical Swiss knife style. And about these, I don't know anything. I don't know who makes them, where they're from, etc. And it's the kind of very, very classic knife that I'm personally not particularly interested in. Like I don't have any particular opinion about these. I mean, yes, they are, of course, good to carry, but I'm not the biggest fan of that style. If I choose this style, and as I said, I hate nail nicks. I really don't like them. There we go. So if I were to pick a knife like this, I would want one of the really large Swiss Army knives with a crap load of different blades and tools. If it just has 2 blades and corkscrew is just not something that interests me in particular. But maybe some of you like this style, so I'm showing them anyway. Yeah. And the final one, this is very slim. It's got the small blade there and large one here. This actually opens pretty easily, despite the cursed nail nick. Yeah, pretty simple. Not much to say about it, which again is one of the reasons why I haven't shown it before. Then what else we got? This thing here. You just fold it open like this. Locks up. And yeah, this is a really compact, light knife. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about it. It's not the most comfortable thing because you just don't have that much to hold on to. But, you know, in a pinch, I guess if you had nothing else, it would work. But personally, I prefer to have a little Spyderco knife on my keychain. Spyderco bug. And that's it. So let me know if there is any kind of entertainment value in this sort of video. I'm sure I have a number of other things lying around that I could talk about in this way. So yeah, if you didn't like it, let me know too. And otherwise, thanks for watching.